Guys, it is finally taking place. Conor McGregor will fight Michael Chandler on June 29th, the original agreed upon date. And, hear me out, I believe that Conor McGregor is going to knock out Michael Chandler and shatter his already chinny chin. And I'm going to tell you why in this video. So let's get into some outside factors before we really break down the fight here. Both of them are coming off an extremely long layoff. Conor has been out for pretty much exactly 3 years. Michael Chandler hasn't fought since sometime in 2022. So it's been a good 2-year layoff for him. And Conor has been using PEDs that entire time pretty much. Well, not the entire time. He got back in the USADA pool. I believe it was near the end of last year. And, I feel like that could definitely affect the fight, the steroids. Whether it be positively or negatively, I'm not 100% sure. It can have different types of benefits, or it could, weigh you down, make you slower, you're retaining more fluid, So I believe that it could go either way for Conor McGregor type thing. But either way, the egregious layoff for both men is a huge problem for both of them when you're considering picking them going into this fight. And Conor, he's coming off a catastrophic injury. I mean, in the third fight with Dustin Poirier, man, throwing too many leg kicks, snapped his own leg and fell back and started screaming, "Your wife is in my DMs," and, the whole charade that they now probably will use for promotion for this fight. And, it's a return of Conor McGregor. And I think he could potentially get re-injured. We saw what happened with Weidman, but, I don't necessarily think that's going to happen. I saw a recent interview with Chandler where Chandler was just delusion to the max. And he was saying that, leg kicks aren't really my thing. I tend to hurt myself more when I throw leg kicks. So, of course, no fight IQ Chandler is going to show up to this fight, and he's going to try to sit there and brawl with McGregor in the pocket. But we'll get to my predictions on the fight later. And I just feel like McGregor, he's been unfocused in his career. He's been doing drugs and alcohol. I actually have an interview right here that I want to show you guys. This is Conor McGregor on his media tour for, Roadhouse with Jake Gyllenhaal. This is a Sports Illustrated interview. Hopefully I do not get copyrighted. All credit goes to Sports Illustrated in this video. But I'm going to show you guys this clip here, and let me know what you guys think.
Jake's a consummate professional, 75 movies made. I'm blessed to have entered into the movie alongside him. He was patient with me. He gave me guidance, and I just took it. We had a good rapport on set. He has 75 movies made. I have 75 bar fights made. And that's it. We had a good back and forth.
Okay, so as you can see in that clip, Conor is clearly either coming down off something heavy, which I believe it is, or he's, on some sort of depressant or whatever. But I believe this is withdrawal symptoms. You see him there. He's talking very slow. He can't even chain his sentences together. And he's constantly, involuntarily shrugging his shoulders. Said something about, 75 movies made, 75 bar fights, whatever. We're not going to deep delve into what he said in that clip. But it is important to mention that he has been abusing, alcohol and drugs this entire time he's been out. So I do believe that this is going to play a massive factor into the fight, because I believe he's unfocused on his career. I believe he's focused on making movies and meeting celebrities and wanting to go box, and he said that multiple times. And then another thing with Conor McGregor is he's swayed back and forth with his opinions on the UFC. I mentioned this in another video, but with Conor McGregor, there was this short stint where he was kind of complaining about the UFC, not giving him whatever he wanted, whether that be, pay-per-view points or more money or whatever terms that he has, wanted from the UFC. He obviously ended up getting them because the fight is happening now. But we saw the switch of when he probably got that done with the UFC, because all of a sudden he said, "Oh, I've never had any problems with the UFC. The UFC are the best business partners I've ever had in my entire life." What? Just constant contradiction of his own words over and over and over again. We have been seeing this for the last months, years, I just think this guy's unfocused. I don't know if his head is actually in the game, but despite all of that, I'm still going to pick him, and we will get to that, but I just want to continue to discuss a few more outside narratives or outside factors in the fight. Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler has wasted a significant portion of his career. He has been waiting for this fight. He has been waiting for this fight, desperately groveling online, sucking up to Conor, sucking up to Dana White, sucking up to the UFC, just begging and hoping that he gets this fight. And good for him. I'm happy for him. He got the fight. However, he is 37 years old now. He sat out so long. He sat out for 2 years, or just about 2 years. And now he's 37 years of age. And he's going to be fighting, I mean, the fight's going to be at welterweight, which makes no sense because, you know, it doesn't have any implications for the lightweight division. But, you know, say he beats Conor McGregor and he goes back down to lightweight. I mean, 37 years old is old for a fighter no matter what, but especially a lightweight fighter. I mean, we see most guys start to fall off around 35 years old, and, you know, Chandler still says that, you know, he would want to get a championship one day. So I believe that that's going to be a big problem for Chandler going into this fight. Will he look the same? Not only has he been out for, you know, a year and a half, 2 years, he's much older now. He's not going to be as explosive as he normally is. He was one of the most explosive fighters in the UFC, and now we just don't know what he's going to look like. So I mean, we don't know what either guy is going to look like, but I mean, that's just shocking that Michael Chandler, we're not going to know what Michael Chandler looks like in this fight. And so another thing I want to bring up, another outside factor, is that, you know, I think both men are going to be kind of ploddy and slow and rusty in this fight. So it is a very hard fight to pick because they both have massive power, at least in the first round. After that, they both tend to gas out. These fighters are actually fairly similar if you put it in terms of, you know, their skill sets, minus the wrestling, of course. Chandler's an amazing wrestler, but I doubt he's going to use that in this fight because he has literally zero fight IQ. So let's get back into, you know, let's break down the stylistic matchup and what I believe is going to happen in this fight. So stylistically, I believe that Chandler is more explosive in general, so he may be able to get some takedowns, but I do believe Conor McGregor would be able to get back up. He has good get-ups. But aside from that, he's just explosive in everything he does. He throws everything into every single shot. I could see him just brutally knocking Conor McGregor unconscious. But I believe Conor McGregor is faster. And even though I believe both men are going to look slower than they have ever looked in their entire careers, I do believe that Conor McGregor will be able to hit the target first, therefore most likely leading to a KO. What else? I believe they both have terrible gas tanks. I know I mentioned that already, but I believe Conor's gas tank is probably worse. Conor's out drinking and eating and doing cocaine and, you know, God knows what else. And Chandler's in the gym every day, working on his skills every day, you know, just pounding out those gym hours. Pause. But seriously, I mean, Chandler is in the gym every day. Conor McGregor just not taking it seriously. I believe his cardio is going to be abysmal. And if it makes it out of the first round, Conor McGregor will most likely lose this fight. You know, Chandler has great wrestling as well, but will he use it? No. To answer it short and simple, no, he will not. Chandler is one of the dumbest fighters I've ever seen in terms of fight IQ. I mean, he was beating the dog shit out of Dustin Poirier in the first round, and then everything started to turn around in the second round for Poirier, despite all of Michael Chandler's egregious cheating, which is just horrendous. I mean, you know what? Michael Chandler could win this fight if he just does the Chris Weidman, you know, just throw the 1-2 eye pokes constantly. He could win this fight. Just fish hook Conor McGregor, you know, gouge his eyes out, oil check him, do every illegal move you can think of, and he can probably win this fight. So Michael Chandler, if you're listening, you know, you just got to pull the Chris Weidman on him. But other than that, I do believe this will be an exciting fight. I believe it's a fan-friendly matchup, obviously. That's why, I mean, everyone's been waiting for it, right? But, I mean, overall, I am excited for this fight. I am happy this fight is finally happening. I am happy for Michael Chandler, even though it may seem that I'm taking digs at him in this video. I am not. I am just purely breaking down the fight from my perspective and how I see how the build-up has gone and how, you know, the fight itself is going to go. So let me know if you guys are picking Conor McGregor or Michael Chandler in the comments down below. Please leave a like on the video if you will. I mean, it really does help me in the algorithm. And subscribe if you are interested in my videos and you enjoy this type of content. And thank you all so much for watching. Have an amazing day.